All right. My dear fellow listeners and viewers, good evening once again, and welcome to another edition of Let's Chit Chat with Narine Dat. Let's Chit Chat with Narine Dat is a Canadian initiative with a unique impact. There are a few different ways to listen to us. You can listen to us on the Regal dial, that's the radio, 102.7 CKMS FM. You can listen to us on Rogers digital cable for those of you who have the Rogers digital box. And of course, we're also live stream or Chit Chat here, so do take the opportunity to share a page. We ask you to stay with us if you would like to learn a thing or two. However, if you're looking for an opportunity to vent out any sort of negativity, this is not for you. Tonight, we have three Canadian girls. It's an appropriate time for us to showcase, and talk about the power of women. Speaking of three girls here. And so we'll take some time, obviously, to get to know them, to get to, understand their love and passion for music and so forth. I will encourage you to take the opportunity to share the page. I'm blocked, by the way, from Facebook from sharing, so I was only able to share in a few places. But for those of you who are watching, do take the opportunity to share. It is important for us to kind of at least support that way. So girls, welcome to the show. How are you doing tonight? Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. So what we're going to do, we're going to get right into it. I know it's school time tomorrow for you folks. So take your time. You can go in any order. You'll state your name and take your time and introduce yourself to us. By the way, for those of you who are watching, these are three sisters and they come from a musical background. And you're going to get the opportunity to listen to them as well, too. So you don't want to miss this. And so go ahead, introduce yourself in any order, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, so my name is Samira. I'm 13 years old. I'm in grade 8, and I have a very big passion for music. And I've been learning since I was probably about 6 years old, and I really enjoy it, and I'm excited to see where it can take me in the future.
Okay, I'll go next. My name is Sunaya. I'm the youngest one. I'm 11. I'm in grade 6. And like she said, I do have a very big passion for music as well. I've been learning since I was 5 or 6. I play the violin, the piano, and we also do singing. And hello everyone. My name is Suhana. I'm 15. Sorry, I'm 15 years old. I'm grade 9. Like my sisters, we all share the same excitement for learning music, sharing it with others. So that's obviously something very big for us. And we're all excited to be here. We're really, really appreciative that you could have us tonight. And yeah.
Well, I have to tell you that we're excited to have the three of you on here. Things are very special. And speaking of three sisters, for those of you who are watching, listening, next Sunday we will have three sisters as well joining us. Right. So coincidentally, our next guest happens to be three sisters, and they're from Kitchener. But right now we're going to focus on these three sisters here. So, and you can jump in anytime you want. You can add to the conversation. Right. So it will be, it's all about you here tonight. I've had the opportunity to listen to, some of your music. We have featured them on our show as well, too. And I think music is a beautiful thing. And I'm very impressed. I should start off by saying that the fact that, you were born here and the fact that you were able to mold yourself into the music, I think that's a special thing. And I hope that all of three of you continue on. But and I know obviously you started off, from your parents, your mom in particular, and so on, because she has that passion for music. But tell me, what is it that you like most about it? And in any order, you can comment or you can pass as well too.
I think one of my favorite things about music is the fact that you get to share it with people and it makes them happy as well. When you put it out there, it doesn't really matter about the views or anything. It just matters about how many people, and it makes them happy, and it just makes their day.
So for me, it'd probably be the creativity aspect of it. There's just so many endless possibilities, types of music, and it's just so fun to experiment with that. And also the way that it connects you to God, when we sing bhajans and it's just a really devotional act, and it's really helps you connect.
Yeah, and to add what both of them said, it's also a way to challenge your own thinking and challenge the way you see the world also, because I do feel like it can impact the way you behave too. It's a great way to let out anger, stress that you might have built up during the day. So yeah, I think it's a really great passion hobby for you and to share.
Well, first of all, thank you. And I have to say that I'm impressed with the presentation here so far. So that's another gift and talent you folks have. Your presentation skills is awesome. That's great. And so speaking of song, you talk about the religious aspect of it. So do you enjoy singing the religious pieces like the bhajan and so on more? Or are you thinking, or are you also doing Bollywood and things of that kind?
We do both bhajans and Bollywood. I wouldn't say that I could distinguish a favorite between the two, because both of them they're both two different worlds, I would say, but they both require the same amount of love and hard work and passion. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like they both take you places on a different level. When you're singing bhajans, it connects you to God and it helps you, achieve inner peace. And I feel like the same with Bollywood songs. And there's also that creativity that you can, really share your skills.
Yeah, both of them really do bring joy to people. And I really do enjoy singing bhajans as much as I do enjoy singing the Bollywood songs. Bhajans, they do help me connect with God more, but both of them, there's not really a favorite.
Okay. No, and that's fair, and that's very fair. I don't know that, so that's what the reason I'm asking. So very, very nicely done. For those of you who are watching, do know that I'm restricted to share our page here. So please, if you're watching, do take the opportunity to share our page. We want to inspire as many people as possible, right? Keep in mind, we have 3 girls. We are also celebrating, International Women's Day and so forth. So we will be featuring more young girls. We are going to feature more women on the show here to mark that occasion. So we want to inspire people here. At the end of the day, if we can inspire a few people, that is our goal, nothing more than that. But unfortunately, I'm restricted, right, to kind of do some extra posting. But if you're watching, take the privilege to do so. For those of you who are listening on radio, do know that we appreciate you as well too, but we are unable to see you. But we started out that way, and we want to know that you are not forgotten, that's for sure. So how about practicing? Obviously, the 3 of you are in school. I have 2 girls as well. I understand what it means to be a father of girls and things of that kind. At your age, the schoolwork seems to be, a constant ongoing thing and so forth. How is it that you balance your school work, right? I know things have changed over the pandemic and so on, with, doing what you love, which is music. Do you find it difficult, or do you find that it is more of a stress reliever for you? I think one of you mentioned about the stress piece there.
Well, obviously, since we have a lot of extracurriculars going on as well as school, it can be hard sometimes to find that balance. But whenever we do practice, I feel like it's important to put your best. And we do music classes every Thursday morning as well, with our singing teacher, Sucheta Ganguly, and we always aspire to learn more with every class.
Yeah, and there is that sometimes where we don't have the time to practice, but we try a lot, as much as we can. We put in the time to practice. Whenever we do practice, we give each other different ideas, communicate with each other. We have violin classes on Tuesday and we have a piano class on Thursday as well. So there's just the balance between each week.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. We do appreciate that. I will feature, of course, clips so that people can get to listen to the beautiful voices. Not too often I get to hear beautiful voices. Usually I have one, an individual here. So we'll get to share unique voices here tonight. But in the meantime, while I'm getting that sorted out, are you able to do a piece of a cappella, maybe a little piece of your favorite? You can do that because I can assure you people will enjoy it, and it will add to the show. So do that while I'm actually grabbing the piece that I'm looking for.
Yeah, okay. No, no
Go ahead.
problem. Okay, so the first song I guess we'll be doing a Bollywood song, but it's called Sun Raha Hai Na Tu. We'll just be doing like the first verse. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, girls, for that. We do appreciate that. And that's a beautiful thing. And what you have done there just now is a very difficult thing to do because you have sang your heart out without any music. It just came from the inside. And that shows your passion for it. And that's a beautiful thing. I can see that people are enjoying it, people are liking it, and people are inspired. And to those of you who are watching, do know that we have 3 young girls here. They need that inspiration. So any sort of positivity in terms of good comments, in terms of the hearts and so on, will be very encouraging. So you want to make sure you take the opportunity to do so. What I would like to do now, though, I would like to feature a piece that they have done with music, a beautiful bhajan that I've played recently for the Sriratri occasion we've had recently, not too long ago. So enjoy this beautiful piece. All right. So how does it feel listening to your own voices here? Does it feel weird, or is it exciting to know that you've put a lot of work? Obviously, you've practiced a lot until you get it right and things of that kind. So you should be proud, by the way. So how does it feel hearing it back, knowing that people are watching it, knowing that people love what they have just listened to?
It's actually super exciting, you know, knowing that we get to share this with so many people. I know, like, hearing your own voice like on a recording sounds a little bit weird sometimes, but it is like a really nice experience.
You know, when you hear yourself on a recording, obviously you're very critical of yourself. But just when you think of how many people that you made happy, it's a little bit better. So.
Yeah, for
Awesome.
me, it's a big mix of emotions. On one hand, you're happy and proud. On the other, like, oh, can it stop? But all in all, I'm really glad of how far we come and how many people we can make happy with, you know, just a song.
Awesome. Thank you so much. For those of you who are just joining us here, do know we are joined by three talented sisters, and we are here to showcase their talent. We are here to, hopefully make an impact in the sense that they can inspire other girls, to really, continue with the culture, to do, these important pieces. As I mentioned earlier, usually here it can be a little bit challenging, but these girls prove that it can be done, and that's something we all should be proud of. Do you find that it is much easy that you have the three of you to kind of maybe practice and kind of have ideas from each other? Because I know if you only have one person in the household trying to do what you're doing, it can be a little bit challenging. So do you think that it's an advantage? I would think that it's an advantage, right? But I would like to hear from you.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like even just having more than one person to be able to learn from, to be supported. And, when we like encounter new experiences, it, makes you feel less shy because you're not doing it alone. And then it's also really nice to share this experience with, people that are close to you. And, it feels better to do it with people rather than do it by yourself.
But I think definitely, because if you have any doubts or questions, you can always go to one of them, and they're always just there to help you. It's like we're learning from each other all the time, so it's just better like that. Yeah, I think it just relieves a lot of pressure on just having one person to always perform great. If you mess up, you could just, go a little quiet, let the other ones, have their time. But it's also, what they say, it's fun to share it with people.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And how about the instrumental piece? Earlier, when you were introducing yourself, just in case, for those who may have just joined us, apart from the singing aspect, you folks also play instrument. Talk about that a little bit.
Okay, well, when, there's more than one there's more like than one person, we can have like the accompaniment of different instruments, because we have multiple people, and it just like more support. Like one of us can be singing, one of us can be playing the harmony, and sometimes we add in like our violin, and I feel like it just enriches the sound of our music a lot more.
Yeah, and so me and her, we've been playing violin since we were 6 and 5, so we've been playing for like 8 or 9 years now, which is a lot. So yeah, we've kind of like, and now she also plays piano, keyboard. We've just started taking lessons, so we're like we're kind of building our own band here. So we could do whatever we want basically. And it's much easier because we all learn the violin, we all learn the piano. If we all want to alternate on things, it's easier that way as well.
And then I also feel like with multiple voices, there's the opportunity to do harmonies, which I feel like really adds a really special element.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for sharing that. Let me take the opportunity so that you folks can enjoy this session here. Do know that we appreciate your presence here. So let me take the opportunity to say hello to a few people who are watching the three of you right now. Let me start off by saying hello to Joe Jaglal, who's no stranger to you guys. All right. Thanks, Joe. And I know he's busy, but obviously he made the time to tune in to support the three of you. So that is a powerful thing. So thank you, Joe, for that. I recognize that you're busy just like everybody else, but the fact that you made the time to support these three girls, that is beautiful. And do know that I recognize that. Let me give a special hello to Priya Prasad. I know we've never met, but I know that you follow me along, and I know that you were very interested to watch these three girls. And thank you so much for taking the time to kind of putting your comment on here. All of this will make a huge difference. Do know that we appreciate it and we recognize it as well too. And to the radio people, I have to apologize to you. We cannot see you, but do know that we can, our heart is with you. So do know that. Kamlawati, thank you for watching. Thanks for your comment. We appreciate you. She's saying, wow, you all have beautiful voices. Well done. So I think it's important for me to hammer some of the comments right on the spot here so that you can really feel that appreciation from people. Beautifully done. Keep the good work. They're referring to the song that they will just listen to. They are very talented. Those are all comments from people. Nalini, do know that we appreciate you joining us. Omi, thank you so much for joining us. Do know we appreciate you as well too. Mani Singh, we have to have you on the show, sir. We'll talk about politics. We'll talk about that another day. Thank you for joining us here. We have a very talented singer by the name of Arnold watching from Suriname. We've had him on the show. He sounds like a very popular singer. I can't think of the name now, but a very, very talented man as well too. And he's watching, and he's watching because he wants to support the three of you, obviously, right? Anjali, thank you so much. And all of you, obviously, I will miss names and so on, depending on the screen I'm looking at. So let's get back to these girls now. For those of you who have missed, do know we are joined by three sisters, very, very talented singers. They are very passionate about the music thing. They take it seriously. They come from a musical background as well, too. And I think it's important for us to recognize it. So how about when it comes to practice time and session and so on? Do you spend a set of time per week where you say, you know what, I will have to practice 4 to 5 hours per week to kind of keep me, in the groove and keep me, motivated as well? So do you do anything as such, or do you kind of do it in between as you get time?
Well, I feel like, as we've mentioned before, like with like all the things that we're balancing, obviously it is very important to find time for practice. We don't have like a very set schedule, but we do, like, we practice, I guess, a lot after school and, in between weeks and stuff, just so we can, continue to learn and grow.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and for me, if anybody's looking for recommendations on how to improve your music, get a set schedule, which is something we're still working on, because it just puts you in that discipline. And we're still kids. We're still trying to find our discipline, but as long as we put ourselves down, set aside, and focus on what we can do, then we get things done.
All right. So where do you, and I know it can be a tricky question, but I'm blown away by how the three of you are answering so promptly, as if you've been doing this every day. So this is a good sign. And so where do you see yourself 5 years from now? So like visualize yourself into this musical, industry, or into this musical piece. Where is it that you see yourself, or where is it that you would like to be 5 years from now musically?
So some of you may or may not know this, but our mom, she used to conduct shows. She has a nonprofit organization called Tandavam, and she would produce talent shows, and we would sing in the shows, we would dance. So I hope in 5 years, we, like, after maybe COVID, because she stopped because of that, we can continue to do these shows, continue to bring in more people. Like the last talent show she had, we actually brought in Ben Parag, and we had a chance to meet him. I don't know if you know him, but he was on Indian Idol, I believe. Yeah. And she brought him in, and we did a whole concert with him. So I hope we can continue to do that on more large scale things.
Yeah, definitely. Now that I feel like we're more experienced, than a few years ago, it would be like very nice to, share our voice and our music in different scenarios, like with more of the shows, and just sharing, making more videos, and just helping people.
Yeah, just to correct her, he was on Delhi Hindustani.
Oh, yeah.
But, well, with the shows, maybe we can even make one of our own as well. We can feature ourselves maybe and other people who like to grow in music as well.
Absolutely. So I'm glad to hear that, but do know that the three of you have the potential to get where you want to go. And also know that the one thing I can let you know while I'm thinking of it here, that the only person can hold you guys back is yourself. So make sure that if you have that motivation to, further your music and take it to a different level, you can do that. And the good news is that you have people behind you who will kind of assist you along. So it will be so easy for the three of you. So hopefully we can see all of that. Yeah, exactly what the three of you said, when the pandemic, somehow, when we can do things, I guess how we used to, so to speak. All right. So what is it that I know that without support from your parents and so forth, and people, that are close to you, it is difficult to do the things that you love doing, right? Like to participate into, musical activities and so on. Now that you have an opportunity to openly thank the people who who have assisted you along, and whether that be your parents and your each other and so forth, take the opportunity to do it now. It is important for us to pay gratitude to people who have kind of really helped us along the way. No pressure or anything, but it's important. So if you feel comfortable doing so, you can do it.
Okay, so a very big thank you goes out to our parents, because I feel like without them, a lot of this would not be possible, because they have like encouraged us and pushed us since day one.
Yeah, and big shout out to she said our mom and our parents. Literally, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. She's like everything you've said about encouraging us, about how we're the only ones we can stop. Like we've heard that from our mom. She's taking on the role as not only our manager, but our Guruji, sorry, did I say manager first? I meant mother. She's also she manages our music. She's the one who gives us all these opportunities so we can grow ourselves. So yeah, shout out to mom.
Yeah, our dad as well. He was the one that he drove us to violin class every single Sunday. They all work very hard. Shout out to our Gurujis as well, because without them, obviously this wouldn't have been happening right now. So. And all of our family that has supported us along the way. It would take forever for me to say every single one of their names, but everyone who believed in us since day one, we're forever grateful for it. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So what I'll do as well, so that I have another video I found of the three of you, and so I will take the opportunity to feature it so that people can see it. So I'll try to kind of share it and people can see, to kind of actually see the video here. So for those of you watching, we're joined by three talented sisters, and we felt that it is important for us to recognize them. It is important for us to showcase them, but the fact that we're also celebrating Women's International Day, and we will be doing that for the next little while. I felt privileged actually to showcase these girls, because I know that they will be inspired, but also know that they will be inspiring other young folks as well too, which is important, right? And so but I want you, for those of you who are watching and listening, I want also, of course, for you to enjoy their beautiful music. So I found a beautiful clip here that I will feature, and I have no doubt that you are going to enjoy it. right. Nicely done. So I've seen that before. I just thought it's important for us to share that with the people who are watching. One thing we should do though, the dancer in there, I don't know the name there. Maybe we should give credit to her. Maybe mention her name.
Sorry, we wanted to take a moment to actually recognize. We have basic knowledge in North Indian classical dancing, Kathak, and she was our first dance teacher. Her name is Ashley Shiv Shankar. She, along with Sukati Sharma, they taught us what we know in Kathak. They're great dancers and great mentors, so we just want to recognize them for a moment.
Absolutely. Thank you for doing that. That's important as well, because she definitely added to the video for sure. Yeah. So you folks dance as well too? You mentioned a few times. So you do dancing too, I guess, right?
As I said, very, very
yes.
basic. Yeah.
Okay, but that's awesome. You can do it all, right? But you looks like you're doing bits and pieces of everything, and for your age, I think you are on the right track. I think that's one of the things I want you folks to know. And my advice, the only advice I have for the three of you, is to kind of continue along that line, because I mean, when I listen to the song, right, especially the bhajan earlier, like you know, without meeting you folks, like the voice is very mature. Like it's very mature, like so it and there's more maturity in that voice that will come along the way too, right? And so all it means is that you will get even better and better and better. So, and it is much needed, right? And so I think you folks are on the right track, and we are very proud to know that you have gone this far. Do know that we recognize that it's you know, it's there, right? And it's probably, maybe it has to do with karma as well too, right? But we wouldn't get there. So it's really nice that you can showcase that with us here. So when you folks are not practicing, you know, when you're not, you know, finishing off your last minute homework and things of that kind, you know, what is it that you do for fun? You know, I know that, you know, with the pandemic, the restriction and so on, what do you folks have, like favorite food? Do your parents take you to a favorite restaurant or anything along that line?
Well, aside from practicing and doing that, we have developed like very good skill with drawing. We love to draw, we love to do art and stuff. Our favorite food might just be instant noodles. Like it's something that we love to make.
Yeah. Another one of my hobbies is I love to draw and create art of different kinds. Like I mainly do just you know, boring black and white pencil drawings, but my sisters have reassured me that, you know, I do good. In terms of favorite food, our favorite food is we go to this family restaurant. It's called Chopsticks, and we've been going there. Our parents have been going there for more than 15 years. So I just wanted to say shout out to Angwin from Chopsticks. You're a great person. You make great food. We love you.
And yeah, also I feel like as well as a lot of other teenagers and kids, we have also developed, you know, a very strong liking for, you know, devices and mobile games.
Of course.
Like social medias and stuff. But we don't do that as much as I feel like we used to. Like we definitely got it under control.
Yeah.
As they're showing, I also like doing a lot of like crochet, which is, you know, a form of like a yarn craft.
If you guys would like to buy it, you can go on her Instagram. There are she's making it for Easter. Support her because she's actually really good. She makes sweaters and stuff. She can make hats, anything.
Hold on. When you say she, when you saying she, you're referring to your sister beside you. Okay, good. Yeah. Thank you.
She does all the crochet.
Okay, so give that information again. This is important. So repeat that information again so that people know what.
So right now she's launching like her first product online. She's making these bunnies. She's partnered up with my aunt at Z&Z Customized. So if you guys would like to purchase a bunny as well as other things for Easter, you can go on her Instagram at Z&Z Customized to order one. And you're supporting her and, you know, her crocheting and everything. So it'll mean a lot to her, you know.
You did an excellent job with that picture there. Awesome job. Thank you. Thank you for throwing that picture there. And who's Eddie? Is Eddie related to you folks? Eddie?
Oh, Uncle Eddie? Hi,
Eddie Surdial?
Yes.
Happy birthday, Uncle Eddie. Yeah, he's our uncle. And yeah, he's like As she said earlier, our family, he's one of our big supporters. So yeah, thank you for coming on tonight.
And how about Komal? How about Komal?
Yeah, he's
the only reason why I'm asking because Komal put chopsticks here. So
he's also our uncle.
Hi, Uncle Brady.
Hi. Yeah, and again, another big supporter of us. That side of our family, they're always there to support us. Yeah. And also, Uncle Komal, his kids as well. They also do classical music. Our cousins Shreya and Siddharth Ramatar. Yeah, Siddharth Ramatar. He's great at the tabla. He's been doing tabla for a while. He's so talented in it. And Shreya also does singing as well. She's so good. She's also amazing. I mean, she kind of deserves to be here too. But so shout out to them too. You guys are great.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. To those of you who are watching, specifically to support these girls, the aunts and uncles and cousins and so on, do know that you are doing a very beautiful thing here, right? I get it that it is the weekend and people have other things that they have to do, but the fact that you made the time to be here supporting these girls, you have no idea as to what it will do empowering these girls here. So do know I recognize that, and it's important for me to acknowledge that. And so because if we cannot support our own people, then who else will? So that's important. And thanks to the girls as well to for acknowledging a few people here, because I wouldn't necessarily recognize all the name. So one thing you mentioned, and I'm not trying to be nosy here. So I know they know that Ramatar guy. So you folks are related. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
that the guy that. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I just learned something. I did not know that. Okay, thank you for sharing that with me. Awesome, good stuff. I see a lot of hearts here, and so forth. And so, so do you guys have, apart from your favorite restaurant that you go, you mentioned that this lipstick place, or not lipstick, chapstick. What am I saying here? Chapstick. But do you have like a favorite food that your mom do for you guys every so often or so on, that you help along in the kitchen and things of that kind?
Okay, well, all of us, we're vegetarian, and so we obviously I try my best to eat healthy when I can. I mean, junk food is very enticing, but for me, I pretty much like any kind of soup. Yeah, any soup.
All right. So what is it that, and I mean, I wasn't planning to ask you folks this question, but because you're doing so well, it is important for me to kind of ask you specifically. I know one of you mentioned about the scheduling, but what is it that you would like to say to your peer group, people your age, in terms of wanting to kind of continue that music piece? I know many young folks, they are trying to get into it, they're doing it, but because they don't have that peer support, like the sister thing that I was talking about earlier, they are, on their own, and it's a little bit of a struggle, right? I have a niece, for example, she plays the harmonium, she sings and so on, but I can see it's a little bit different, right? Not having that extra person there, on an ongoing basis. What is it that you would like to say to your peers, in terms of encouragement and letting them know that it is a beautiful thing? Say anything you would like to say to people who are watching right now or will be watching at some point.
I think what I would like to say is it doesn't matter about views or how famous you are. All that matters is that what you're doing, you love what you're doing, and that you believe in yourself as well. You don't have to always be out there so everyone knows you. You just, if you're known by the people that support you the most, that's all that really matters as well. So just do what you would love to do and just give it your best.
Definitely. I know it's not like something that you always want to do at every moment. I know, especially for me, I'm not always in the mood for music, and I feel like it's important to know that even when it gets hard, it's always something that will benefit you like forever. So never give up on it, because it's something that will carry you very far in life.
Yeah, even if it's not music, as long as you just give it your best. Yeah.
Excellent. So if your parents, if they're close by there and they want to join and come in front of the camera, that is totally fine. I'm not sure if they're there or not. I think it's important. We want to acknowledge and recognize the parents as well too, because I know as a parent myself, I know it takes a lot of commitment to do a lot of things, especially when we have to balance between work and our own task and things of that kind. So I think they've done well. So we want to acknowledge them as well too. If your mom or dad or whoever's there,
Yes, so
they
they're
don't have to
really
put they
shy.
don't have to put on lipstick or anything. They can.
Mom says,
Okay.
They're here, they're listening, they're
yeah.
supporting us like they always do, but I mean, I don't think they're gonna come in front of the camera.
That's okay. I know. I know that's me putting them on the spot there, and my apologies. But I want them to know that we appreciate and we recognize that it takes a lot of effort to do all of this, and so we want to recognize them as well too, for sure. I don't have any more questions for you folks, but I want you to know that I was very inspired, not only by this singing aspect. I was very inspired by the way you present yourself. The way you present yourself is what we need in society today, right? Especially women and girls, right? Because women seems to have the short end of the stick, meaning that they're disadvantaged in many different ways. But I think with your bravery, I think with your presentation, with your passion of wanting to maximize your potential and be the best version of yourself, as you folks said it, I think that nothing will hold you folks back. Exactly what your mom said to you. The bottom line is the only person who can hold you back is yourself. You have that control. You are in the driver's seat. And so you just have to steer things as it kind of go along. Dono, I will look forward to see what else you have coming up. And speaking of that coming up, are you working on a special project or so? It is not uncommon for people to work on a different project. You've came up with a couple beautiful songs. Do you have any new thing coming up?
Well, nothing at the moment, but maybe we're just saying that because we want it to be a surprise.
Oh, okay. And so we look forward, to anything that may come along. Do know in the future, we will love to have you folks back and then we can see and talk about, future project. But do know that you have added to the show. You coming on here will encourage other folks to kind of come on. The things that you have just done, the things that you're doing right now, speaking in front of camera might seem like a simple, easy thing for you, but a lot of people will have anxiety doing it, including adults. I would love to have so many people on this show. They will talk to me, but they wouldn't be able to do what you've just done. And do know that that's another special gift that you have. And so you folks are doing well. And I'm as a parent, like as I said, with two girls. I understand how important it is to kind of encourage younger folks and so forth too. And so I'm hoping that your time here was a fruitful one because it was certainly fruitful for me. I'm now giving you the opportunity and you can take your time. Any last minute thing you would like to say before we wrap it up, you can do that. Take your time or you can pass, but this is your chance to say any last minute thing you would like to say.
Okay, so we're just going to perform another short song. It's going to be a clip of the song Gar Muri Pardesia from the movie Kalank. We had actually performed it a few years back, so we're going to be re-performing it, and we hope you guys enjoy.
And that's even better. So that was another surprise for me. So take it away.
परदेसिया आओ पधारो पिया. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who tuned on tonight to watch us. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Uncle Nine, for letting us be here. Yeah, we really appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. So again, you guys did well there again. And that's another unique thing. A lot of people wouldn't be able to do what you've done. You've sang, just, a raw, pure voice. And that goes to show your passion for the music. That goes to show, that you are really good at what you do, right? So that's really, really awesome. So stay right there. Don't go anywhere at all. So my dear fellow listeners and viewers, as we are officially approaching the end of tonight's program, we would like to take this opportunity to thank you for tuning in to Let's Chit Chat with Narine Dat. Please remember to tune in to us again next Sunday, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. We're going to have another we'll have another set of people, 3 sisters, that is, again. And these sisters are locally here in Kitchener. It is important for us to continuously highlight and bring forward, people that are worthy to bring on here. And so we are so pleased. On behalf of myself and these 3 talented girls, future stars, they're already stars in my eyes, by the way. All of us would like to join together and wish you a great today and even better tomorrow. We'll see you soon.